So this is my second video, and I'm going to discuss with you, well, I guess tell you, why Whyville was so important to me and what an impact it had on my life. So, for those of you who have read every article I have ever written, or have only read like the last few articles, those are the ones where I started to discuss like the social trauma that I went through and things that happened to me, and like more of a reach out to kids now that are going through that, so that, you know, adults always say, oh, you know, it was just like that when I was growing up, it was just like that when I was growing up, but it wasn't, because when my mom and my dad were kids, they didn't have the internet, they didn't even have computers at their houses. In fact, some people didn't even have color TVs, which makes them sound really old, but like, it's true. So with bullying, you know, it doesn't stop once you leave the playground anymore. It continues on online, and I mean, I didn't have that aspect of bullying until I was a little bit older, but I mean, at the same point, like, I was an outcast, like, and by no fault of my own, I think. I feel like I was just different, and people just didn't want to be my friend for whatever reason. They had lots of names that they would call me and stuff, and so anyway, this is supposed to be about Whyville. So what happened was, when I was 12, I joined Whyville, and I joined it because I wanted to go to the prom with my friend Amanda, who had shown me Whyville previously, because she joined November in 1999. So she showed me Whyville, I guess, in February, when the playground was new, and they had just got rid of, like, the chat rules and stuff, so, and she wanted me to join, but, I mean, I was really busy with other stuff, like, I wasn't always on the computer and things. So, so I didn't join until prom, and I actually had forgotten about Whyville. I couldn't remember the URL for whatever reason. So when I joined, some people will remember that there used to be an orange octopus at the front gates, and the background was like this hideous chartreuse, and everything in Whyville was like the chartreuse. And then the background used to, well, it used to look different. The whole site was so much different. But anyway, so I joined Whyville. I made my face, and like, I wasn't popular on there either. Mostly because I didn't have cool face parts, because they had also started letting kids draw their own face parts, so I was still using Akbars, and I thought Robert Plant was funny, but whatever. So anyway, as time goes on, I start writing for the Times, I start meeting people on the BBSs there, I start hanging out with more people that, like, I couldn't load the Square. Back then the Square was the thing, and I was on dial-up, and like, I could not load the Square. So I would go to the Sports Plats or the Spin Speak and try and get people to come there to talk to me, but like, usually they didn't, because everybody who was cool, aka Britt Maria and Charity and Eternal Star and As Kicker Angel, were, well, As Kicker, sorry, my friend used her name as an email once. So they were all there, and anyway, when I was in high school and I was like almost completely alone all the time, if I could even get away from anyone, then I started to make really, really good friends on Whyville, and I didn't feel so alone, and it, like, I felt at the time that I was too old for Whyville, but then I had also found other 15-year-olds who I could talk to, who were marching band geeks like me, who had figure skated, who loved to read, who loved nature, who, like, the Times is just alive. Like, if you can look through the archives at 2003, that's the year for the Times. You've got Tyke, you've got Giggler01, you've got Sunner, you've got like Astro Boy or Astro 35, I can't remember his username, but then you've got Amanda and like myself. Just, you've got the greats. Like, I mean, that's biased, but it was a really good year, and it was a good year. Well, it wasn't a good year emotionally for me, but it was a good year overall, and I found Whyville, and I found solace, and I think the community in Whyville is what drives people to stay, because you do find people, and, you know, there are people in Whyville who are like, I'm so popular, and I go to the mall all the time, and I have expensive crap, and like, my parents buy me everything, and then you have other ones that are crying because like, their parents can't afford milk, and, you know, so whether or not any of this stuff is true, it doesn't matter. The point is, there are lots of people, and I highly doubt, although things have changed. I mean, back in my time, you weren't, the popular kids didn't go on Whyville. But, I think that most people on Whyville do have something a little bit weird about them. Like, socially weird. Like, not, like, serial killer weird. At least I hope. But I think that because we're all different, there's something about us where we want to learn, and we want to tell people what we've learned, and we want, to share experiences and find people who have common experiences, or even people who have different ones, because there's so many people in Whyville. There's so many people. Like, you're guaranteed, whether or not you have, like, an ugly face, and I say ugly as, like, because whatever, it's a face on Whyville, who cares what it looks like, people like Derico, who's like a stick man all the time and stuff. So, my hair is horrible. Yeah, the whole point is, like, no matter who you are, where you're from, how bad your life is, or how good your life is, there's somebody else out there for you in Whyville. And chances are, if you go to Whyville, you already have a small group of really good friends there. And a lot of people will talk to each other off-site. I've met some of my friends from Whyville. It's the community. And I mean, the makers all say it's the community, it's the community. When you do anything online, it has to be community-based, because we're a communal animal, and we are, like, driven by society to have communities, and, like, we want to be social, and we want a society, and it's true. As much as the kids say, like, I don't care about the government or the politics or whatever, they do. They run for Senate. They write for the Times. Like, but the biggest thing is, through Whyville, I found people I could relate to, and who I could talk to, and who didn't care that I was who I was. When everyone at school, they wouldn't even say hello to me. I sincerely hope that teachers today, who are a little bit younger and have just come out of high school themselves, are much more on top of the bullying, because nobody, no matter what they have done or haven't done or anything, like, nobody deserves to be treated like that. Like, it's unreal. My friends now, they think, like, how could this happen? How could people be so mean? And how could the teachers, the people who are supposed to protect me, not do anything about it? And I don't know. I don't have any answers. All I know is that sometimes on Whyville I see the same kind of stuff, and it's obviously, it's never going to end, but I wish it would, and that everyone's going through that. So anyway, this got all off topic and whatever, but I promised at 8 o'clock I would upload a new video to some people on Whyville, so here it is. And these are probably all going to be rambly and jumbly for the first little bit, because I don't really know. I have so much to say. I have a lot of opinions. So alright, so everyone have a good night, and happy Family Day if I don't upload anything before then, and I hope everyone had a good Valentine's Day. Alright, so ciao!